Hey, what's up? I'm Norris and welcome back to another sew along. Today I'll be working on my latest simplicity pattern, which is 9931, a full loungewear set. Now today we're going to be working on view B, the pant, which is also the same order of construction as view C, the short. Now if you're new to sewing or just need a refresh course, you can sign up to our online sewing and design school, which is sewingacademy.com. Once you sign up there, you can learn the basics and then come back and sew along with me. Okay, once again, like I said, we're working on my new simplicity pattern, which is 9931, and we'll be working on view B, which is the pant. As you can see right here, now this has a little flare at the bottom with a nice wide hem, makes it really comfortable to lounge around the house. Also remember on the back you have your fabric suggestions and also notions. In this particular pant you will need 1.5 inch wide elastic. And also once you look at your sizes, go down to finished garment measurements just to make sure what that final measurement is going to be. So now once you cut all of your pattern pieces out of your fabric, we can begin sewing. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do, you want to grab one of your front pieces, as you can see right here, and then we're going to grab one of your pocket bags. Now right sides facing, you should have a notch right there in the center, and then you should have 2 dots here. I went ahead and created notches because my fabric was pretty difficult to mark. Okay, so now we're just going to head to the machine and we're going to stitch starting at 1 dot all the way to the other dot. And of course, we're going to back stitch at the beginning and the end. So let's take this and head up to the machine. Okay, so we're back from the machine. As you can see, now we're just going to slash to our stitching at that dot, but not through the stitching, like this. Okay, and I'm just going to trim some of this off. Now we're going to turn this to the inside, but then we're going to flip out the corners so you can see it being flat. Okay, so after you give it a good press, we're going to start at the corner and we're going to stitch 1/4 inch away from the fold here, all the way down, squaring off at both corners. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Come back and we'll continue. Okay, as you can see, I'm starting at one corner. We're just going to stitch up 1/4 inch. Okay, let's pivot. Make sure the pocket is flat because you don't want any bulk underneath, and continue all the way down to the corner. Okay, as you can see, we're back from the machine. We went ahead and top stitch 1/4 inch away from here, from the fold. And then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this side of the pocket, just gonna fold it underneath and match it up at that side seam here. Basically just like this. Okay, just like this. But before we do that, I wanna flip it on the wrong side. And we're going to head to the machine and we're just going to stitch across the bottom of the pocket bag, not the pant, just the pocket bag here using 5/8 inch seam allowance. But I do want to give you a cleaner look. So instead of doing it right side facing, we're going to do it wrong sides facing at the bottom, and we're going to create a French seam. Now this is not in the instructions, but I love to give a little extra detail just in case you want to incorporate it into your sewing. Okay, so now we're going to head to the machine. I'm going to stitch this down using 5/8 inch seam allowance. Okay, so if you're doing this French seam as I am, you're not quite yet done. I'm going to trim off 3/8 inch. And then now I'm going to turn this right side to the inside, point out my corners. Okay. And then now you want to head to your pressing table, give this a really good press. And the last thing you're going to do is just 1/4 inch top stitch along the bottom here. Okay, as you can see, I have a nice clean French seam here. I'm just going to turn this back to the right side. So the only thing left to do is you want to base here and then base here, and then also base across the top. So once you finish one side, you want to do your other side of your front pocket the same exact way. Okay, so once you do your other one the same exact way, you want to go ahead and grab your front, just grab one of them, and we're going to take the back and we're going to pin it to the front. And you want to make sure to align all your dots and markings. Okay. And then while we're here, let's go ahead and do the inseam. A notch right here. Okay, so now we're just going to head to the machine and just do 2 simple straight stitches. Then we're going to start here and we're going to stitch all the way through, making sure that we don't catch the opening of the pocket here. You might want to just take a pin and just pin it back just a little bit away from that seam allowance. Okay. So you straight stitch all the way down to the hem, and then you want to do the same thing to the inside seam. And for both, we're using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And then you want to do the other one the same exact way. Okay, so we're back from the machine, went ahead and stitched my inseam and outseam, and then also finished that seam up with a serger on both sides. And then as you can see, this right here is wrong side out. So you want to take your other one, right side out, and you just want to slide it in between the pant leg. Then once you do that, you want to make sure you're aligning the front and the back. 2 notches for the front, pin there, and then 3 notches for the back. Then also you want to make sure you pin right there where the seam of the crotch. Now we're just going to head to the machine, and we're just going to start on one end and stitch all the way through the crotch to the other end using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, so we're back from the machine. As you can see, once you turn it right side out, you have the seam finished on the inside. I went ahead and serged and then pressed it to one side. Now we're going to go ahead and work on the waistband. You should have 2 dots. I went ahead and put 2 notches where those dots are. It should be on one side. There we go, got them right here. So you want to stitch to your dot, back stitch, and then leave a space, and then start at the other dot and stitch all the way. And then on the other side, you just want to go all the way through, okay? So let's head to the machine, go ahead and stitch this together. Okay, so that's our first dot. Now we're going to move to the second dot. And again, I marked my dot with a notch instead of a dot. Okay, see we have that opening here, and then now on the other side, we're just going to stitch all the way across. Okay, head to your pressing table and press your seams open. Okay, so we're back. As you can see, the seams is pressed open and we have an opening. So now I'm just going to go ahead and fold the waistband in half, making sure that I can see the side where that hole is. And then this side as well. So now we're going to do right sides facing. So right side is the side without the hole, okay? So now we're just going to take the top of the pants. We're going to align them at the side seams at first. Then we're going to pin. There are 2 notches in the front. You want to go ahead and match those up. Okay, so now we're just going to head to the machine. And you want to stitch all the way around using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And also you can go ahead and finish that seam with a serge if you like. So go ahead and do that, come back, and we'll continue. Okay, so we're back for the machine and went ahead and serged the inside of that seam here, and then we pressed that seam towards the pants. So now I'm going to go ahead and take our 1/2 inch wide elastic, get a pin, put through it, a little safety pin, and I'm just going to go right through that hole all the way around to the other side. Okay, so now when we get it out, go ahead and remove that pin. And now we're just going to head to the machine. I'm going to overlap it like this. And then I'm just going to zigzag it all the way across. Okay, so let's head to the machine, do that, and then we can finish up. Okay, so you just want to get up on the machine, overlap it. Okay, so we're back from the machine. Went ahead and put that elastic into the waistband. The only thing I do with the opening is just hand stitch that closed. And the very last thing with these pants is the hem. So just a reminder, the hem is 2.5 inches. It's gonna leave you with a nice heavy finish at the bottom. It's gonna look really, really good. So don't forget, it's a 2.5 inch hem. And once you do all of that, you're all done. All right, congratulations. Now, I hope you enjoyed this sew along. Be sure to tag me at Norris Danta on all socials, and I will see you in the next video.